Hi, and welcome to Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. I am your host, Chrissy, and I am back for another season of great conversation. This time, I want to have a conversation about relationships. Relationships are something that is very, very dear and my core value. It's my character, how I go about my daily life, and how I build and communicate with others. And in my research this year, I found that there are 30 different types of relationships. Although we're always focused on one type, there are other types of relationships that we should look into. And I think that if we dig deep and fix the other, then a lot of us will get to that one that we're really searching for. So this season, I hope that you enjoy all of the conversations that are geared towards relationships. Welcome to Wine, Wealth, and Tea. Let's go.
My name is Leroy Perry. I'm a married man. I'm a military veteran, um, retired postal worker, and instead of sitting home like most retired people, I decided to start up my own business. So, but I just want to teach this relationship thing. There's a lot of stuff that goes with it, and throughout this series, hopefully people can get a lot of details of how hard and what you got to sacrifice to get to where you're going in a relationship.
Okay. Yes, so sorry about that. We do have two guests today, and they are dear friends of mine that I've gained friendships with because of relationship building.
Yes.
And we have Leroy Perry and Starlett Perry. No relation, but they're dear friends of mine. So you just heard from Leroy, and now we're going to hear from Starlett.
Hello, my name is Starlett Perry, and as Chrissy said, we've gotten close through relationships and connecting via other relationships, and have built a sisterhood. And I am just excited to be a part of this because relationships are hard. Speaking as a single woman, formerly married, children and the whole nine, you do have to have and understand various relationships. And you definitely need to understand yourself and what you want out of any relationship, whether it's parent child, sister brother, dating, opposite sex, whatever you choose. If you understand yourself more and know yourself more, then you can definitely get to the end game.
The end game. And I think that's where we are all looking for the end game.
Yes.
Today, though, we're going to do something where I titled it as Let Them Cook, Let the Men Cook. Because where I'm seeing a big problem in our community on social media, and I watch a lot, where we're constantly in a negative space about relationships with men or with women or whatever, your preference is. And what I want to do is hear from a man on where they are, how they feel, because we don't get to talk to men enough about how they feel, what they're looking for. So today we just gonna let them cook. And Leroy, I want you to tell us, like, what is it that's going on? What's happened?
Okay. If you, I'm I'm gonna feed you into my background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a I'm a country boy. My mom raised 5 kids by herself.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was never around. So growing up, I lost my mom at a young age.
Mm.
So with that, I had to learn to be a man early
Mm-hmm.
because I was the only boy out of 5 girls,
Oh, wow.
out of 5 kids, and I was the youngest.
Mm.
So growing up the youngest, you got sisters that's older than you. You want to be that protector.
Right.
So that's what made me. I'm gonna say the man that I am today, as far as because girls need that dad,
They do.
and dads want to teach their girls and their sons how to date, how to come up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's missing is the dads being a part of the kids' life. Because if you raise them up right, then you in, I'm gonna say you in good shape.
Right.
But it's hard because society
Yes.
and social media and everything you look at is
Plays a
grabbing them
part.
from different directions.
I can agree with that.
And the older, I'm gonna say the older guys,
Mm-hmm.
we want to teach our boys how to be men, but it's hard fighting the
Against
world,
yeah.
fighting the world, and trying to give them your core values.
I get it.
And so, I mean, men, I'm gonna say older men, we know what we want, but society has told us what we want
is not
is not a thing anymore.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. I can agree with that.
And me, as a 50-plus-year-old man, I'm setting my ways. Society can't tell me how to raise my kids, how to be a man for my household.
Mm-hmm.
And I think men need to go back to being the leader of the household. I understand women go work. I mean, you got a lot of single women.
Yes.
You got a lot of married women that works. But the hardest thing is what I see now is with these relationships is women giving a man control. I ain't trying to be your boss. I ain't trying to be your daddy.
Mm-hmm.
If you want stuff, by all means, I'm gonna let you have it. But let me be the man. Let me take care of the core values of the house.
Okay. I do think that we've gotten away from the core of what the family unit looks
Yes.
like, no matter what, your preference is, whoever the head of the household is, whoever the provider is. I think we've gotten away from those type of values, and that has become a problem with a lot of dating because it's not being taught. I mean, if you've never seen it, how do you know what to do with it?
And that is so true.
It's just giving us a hard way to go, especially like you were saying. I'm a single woman. I'm a single mom.
Yes.
And I work hard. And at my age, it is going to be hard for the next man to come in and for me to basically dismantle everything that I've built on my own because I had to. That's the hard part.
Although, let me interject. I will say that because I get in conversations like this all the time with opposite sex and other women, and we group it up and we just have like real conversations about it. So I'll say though, at the end of the day, most women, I'm gonna say probably 40-ish might be where to begin at and up. We are looking for that leader. We want that leader.
Yeah.
I'm single as well, in my 50 plus, single mom, formerly married, divorced. I don't want to do this by myself.
Yes.
However, I'm not going to just relinquish the mantle just because you are in a male form.
Exactly.
It's a difference.
There's a difference.
Like,
you can't expect me to submit to you just because you want to have a submissive woman in your mind that just does what you want them to do, right? And that just does whatever you say do and agrees with everything you say. And that's most men's idea of submissive, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they take it and they don't understand what it really means. What it means is if you're that leader, right, and you have my back all the way, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically, you're that solid foundation. The gradual nature of things and the way it was designed is that submissiveness is going to come automatically from
naturally.
It's not it's not a brute force. It's not an aggressive thing that you have to pull out of me. You don't have to browbeat me and name call me and dog me out.
Yes.
You just want to be that independent woman. Can't nobody tell you.
We have to have that security.
Yes.
If that security is not there, then we can't be submissive to whatever
Exactly.
isn't. I mean, again,
Absolutely.
like I said, there's 13 different types of relationships. And when it comes to the matter of dating and love and marriage and all of these things, I feel like because we're missing family, which that is a relationship,
Yes.
community, that is a relationship, you don't get the best type of dating situation because you're missing two other ones.
You miss it,
Yeah.
right?
With me being a dad of girls,
Mm-hmm.
is I know what I expect from myself.
Right.
So I tell my girls, I'm not gonna expect nothing less from you and a man
Come in and
that's
yeah.
coming in to either date you, maybe who knows. So I ran into a situation I'm gonna say a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter came home from college
Okay.
and she said her friend was coming to pick her up and take her out to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "It's a guy, girl, who is it?" She said one of her guy friends that she knew. And when he got to my house, she was walking out the front door. I said, "Where you going?" She said, "He's here." I said, "So?"
So, is he gonna come in?
Came up to my door and introduced himself to me. No. I
That's
said,
right.
that's what we got to
That's
get
where
out
it's
of.
wrong. That's where it's
I
wrong.
said, y'all, these guys,
They
these
feel
young men,
entitled.
they want to pull up to a house, blow the horn, and the girl
come
come
out.
running out. No. I want to, you hear about
That's right.
girls disappearing,
Mm-hmm.
so much stuff happening in this world now.
I need to know. I need to lay eyes on you. That's right.
So if push comes to shove, I know where to start at.
Right.
And she was like, "Dad, it's not
You don't have to do
it's
all
not
of
that
this.
serious."
Yeah. But
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
It is.
And as far as I got one son, and he's married. He got a grandbaby, one of my grandbabies, and I told him the same. I told him the same thing, dude. When you go meet a girl, you meet the family. I said, because if the family don't appreciate you, you already in a negative output with trying to date this girl.
But see, that's the problem. There are no families. It's a lot of broken homes. It's a lot of people that don't even talk to their parents or talk to their siblings or cousins or whatever, or don't have grandparents. It's that we are the last of the Mohicans. Let's be clear. Whatever we have or had, our children will not. It's done. So how do we instill some type of hope in them for it to be better? Starting off with saying, "Hey, I need to meet."
Exactly.
I'm that helps.
Is like you say, it's dead, but it go take a group effort to bring it back.
Right.
I mean, yes. I mean, like I said, with me not having my dad in my life and my mom passing early, that's a hard road. But
see, not all men are going to turn out
exactly
like you. And I'm gonna say the reasoning why. We all say women can't raise men. They can and they can't.
Exactly.
And the reason why I say that is because there's a certain amount of emotion that comes from a man that another man needs. A woman can do the best she can.
Yes.
With what she has, because she is a woman. She doesn't know how to be a man. And I feel that a lot of the younger guys that are coming up without any connection to any men in their families at all, even if they don't have a dad,
granddaddy.
no, they don't have any type of men at all. They're emotionally stunned.
Yes.
So you have a lot of situations out here where they don't know how to deal with being rejected. They don't know what it means to not date that person or leave that situation and walk away and go to the next one, because they've been so coddled by just having a mom, and it's nothing. I don't say this to say that it's something wrong when it's just a household of just you doing the best you can with what you got. But when these guys grow up, because you need that testosterone, you need it.
Definitely.
They don't connect well. At least that's what I'm seeing from a lot of things that are happening in social media right now.
I was lucky that my grandmother had 11 kids.
Okay, so you had uncles. That's what I was getting
Yes,
to.
they
So you
was
had 4 sisters,
yes.
but where were any men? How did you become a man? So this
Them
is
my
why.
uncles,
Okay.
yes. And with that, I mean, these guys, these young men, they they gotta find a man to, I'm gonna say, look up to.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Me and my son, we had our ups and downs.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But I told him, as a man, as a young man living in my house, you gotta
Certain
have
things.
structure,
Yes.
Yes.
and you go learn how to respect your mom, respect your sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna teach you how to grow up to be the man of your household.
Right.
And these young men nowadays, it's hard to say. I can't. You can.
A lot of the women are running the households.
Yes.
And
that's
I'm gonna say it's because, again, going back to me, I have no choice. So here
Exactly.
I was raised, I'm the oldest of 4. And if you include my step siblings, I'm the middle. I have 2 older step siblings, and yeah, I have a sister as well. But oldest of 4 of my mom, and the only girl.
Oh.
Not only am I the only girl of hers, but I was the only great grandchild of a female, the only grandchild that was a female. So I was it in my family, and I was surrounded by men. So growing up, I was kind of taught things on both sides. A woman should have lotion in her pocketbook and carry gloves and smell good. Oh, well, if you don't know how, check your oil. Let me show you how to check your oil.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly.
show you the. I remember my uncle saying to me, I have to show you these things in the event you don't find the right person so that you're not out here by yourself. But what that has created is a problem.
Yes.
Because I can do
you
so
don't-
much.
Now you don't. Not saying you don't.
We're
need
always
it.
going to need each other because
Exactly.
we are designed as a species that thrives off of connection and relationship.
Mhm.
So we need each other. But I'm going to do it if it needs to be done.
Exactly. And that's where the man, when that right fit come around, you ain't even gonna have to look for it. You're gonna see it.
It's gonna
It's
happen.
gonna be visible.
It'll
Right.
be done. That's right.
And like for me, my wife don't gas up her car.
Mm-hmm.
My wife don't do yard work.
Mm-hmm.
And which, if she want to come out and help me, that's fine.
That's fine.
But as a man, that's my job.
And see, I was raised with my uncle, same age group, that's the type of things,
that we do.
But I had to do it. Now I'm doing it on my own because there is nobody there.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I'm out here dating and I meet guys, it's
I'm with you because my uncle,
you're struggling with the
the
same
girls,
thing.
like all of the girls, all of us knew how to change a tire.
Yeah.
Back in the day, spark plugs.
Yeah.
'cause
Yes.
the
Yes.
Spark plugs.
Can't do nothing on these cars now.
Do the
Yeah, you
carburetor.
can, yeah.
We knew how to change oil. I know. Telling my age. You're telling my age, but that's how we learned. That's what we learned on.
Right.
You know, we knew how to do those things because my uncle was like, y'all will not be out here having to see. What I heard was, I don't want you dependent on no man to do these things for you, because what if he's not there or his expectations of you are different?
Right.
Because I helped you change your tire.
Exactly.
And so, it was, you could say, gone, Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I can change my own tire
Mm-hmm.
if that's what you're looking for me, just because you're, helping me. So it's almost like we saw that my aunt never changed oil.
No.
My aunt never, like you said, filled up the car.
No.
She didn't do yard work and didn't do any of those things. My
grandmother's job was to stay pretty. My mom's job was to stay pretty.
That's
what to take care of these kids and smell good.
I tell people, my grandmother, bless her soul, she lived to be 101.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
I've never seen that woman drive a car. Never seen that woman work a job. But with 11 kids and a husband,
she thrived. With the right husband. Because...
But she actually lost my grandfather when I was about 8.
Okay.
I seen her date one guy one time.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen him again. And never seen another man around that lady.
And you weren't supposed to.
And she she showed love to all the kids, grandkids. And I was like, this woman is a model
Mm-hmm.
of how women's supposed to be treated.
And in that she gave you the idea of what kind of woman to search for yourself.
Yes.
So in our growing up, the men and the women in our lives are our templates for what we look for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So for me, again, I go back to my uncles. That's my template. And sometimes I meet guys and they may strike a chord with me because they may have some of that template. And then when I start peeling back the onion,
Peeling them layers.
oh my gosh, it's not there.
Yes.
You know, I thought you were a provider. I thought you were strong enough to handle things. I thought you were confident. I thought you were not insecure and all of these things. I thought you can help me so that I wouldn't have to bear it all.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
then it flips. Now I got to help you and bear yours and my burden.
See, and I think with today's society, with dating,
Mm-hmm.
men, I'm gonna say men and women,
Yeah.
it's like back with our uncles and aunts and grandparents, when they was with their husbands or their significant others, it was just that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't they was on the phone talking to other guys and other girls,
Options.
and they saying, "Oh, these are my friends." No,
You don't have no friends.
you don't. I'm like I said, I'm an old school
Listen,
guy.
let me tell you something.
I'm a firm believer. Men have men friends.
That's it.
Women have women friends.
That's it.
But today's society
Says you should be
woman-
confident enough.
a woman could
Yeah.
say, "Okay, this is my guy friend, and we best friend from college or high school, or elementary school or whatever."
Let me tell you
And
how I look
never,
at it.
I never met this guy, so
How
And there's
How-
a problem. That's
how
right.
is
That's a
that your
problem.
friend when I don't know who this person is?
Mhm.
that's right. I'm a firm believer in knowing my lane and my space.
Yes,
That's like me and you, our relationship is based off of your wife. She is my friend.
Yes.
You are her husband. That is a difference, you know. And a lot of people, oh yeah, that's my friend, and this is my no.
no.
When I want to reach you, I reach out to your wife.
Thank you.
That's right.
That's how I operate.
That's how I operate.
Right.
I'm like, look, like I said, with my business,
Right.
you got my business number. When you call me, business only.
Right.
Anything
You know
else?
how to separate.
Anything else? You got to meet my wife
That's right.
because I'm gonna introduce you to her, and y'all start a relationship before I even attempt to be friends with you.
Right.
No, I'm not doing that.
So
And
let me ask the two of you this. What is it that you look for now with everything so turned upside down?
Child,
What are you looking for when you're dating?
me, I mean, just
Well,
recently, me and my wife, after a 23-year marriage, ended.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went back out there to start dating, straight nervous,
Mhm.
scared,
Mhm.
because the world done
Had every
changed.
reason.
Right. At 20 years.
The world done changed. And I know some people, some men and some women say they look for a man or a woman with no kids. At 40 and over, that's gonna be hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
30 and over, probably hard to find.
Mhm.
You can't set yourself in a bubble,
Okay.
because my oldest daughter, when me and her mom got divorced, she had a stepdad. And it was, I can't tell my ex who to date.
Right.
All I can do is protect my child.
Right.
Correct.
So I introduced myself to now her stepdad and told him, "Hey, look, my daughter lived in your house more than she lived in my house.
Mm-hmm.
She got rules. You got rules. She lived by your rules. I can't tell you how to raise my child in your house."
Right.
But guys think they can do that.
But
No.
I can tell you, don't put your hands on.
No, exactly. And I,
Right.
Right.
Let's
And-
talk about
let's
whatever
talk
the
about
issue
that.
is
And I-
first.
I
Let's
told-
figure it out.
Yeah.
That's, come to me as a man.
That's
and
what I
that's,
told him.
that's
I
right.
said, you raise my child like your own, but don't put your hands on her. I said, I'm holding you responsible, but if push come to shove, call me.
That's
it.
right.
I'm a phone
Because you built that relation.
I'm
Again,
a call away.
Building a
a
relationship.
relationship.
Yes.
You
And-
have to build
And
relationships.
me and him to this day, we was both in her wedding,
As it should be.
as we should have been, because I said I can't take nothing from him because
Because he was
he
there
was
in
there
the
when I
household.
wasn't.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And these men,
We don't have that.
these young men nowadays. I was talking to, I think my nephew. I was talking to my sister. By the way, I left out a part. I got 8 sisters, 4 by my dad, 4 by my mom.
Everybody was busy.
And after both of them had 4 girls, they got together, and here I come. I'm the only
Oh.
boy. I'm the only boy.
You
and I'm a
golden
baby.
child.
You know it. They broke the mold.
Okay.
But after I said, with these young men out here having babies,
Hmm.
and they fight with the baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what? I think the one aspect that they lose is I'm fighting with her. I don't want to deal with her. So you can't see your child. What we did as older men, we knew there's one way you can always get to see your child. Put it on paper.
All right.
Go to the courts.
Put yourself on it.
Put yourself on papers. And always remember, you don't miss what you don't see.
Oh, no, they're not doing that.
No,
Let me tell you something.
If you love that child, you don't
but it's
miss
deeper.
that.
But this is what I mean when I say
Exactly.
the emotional. It's the emotional damage that the generation
Yes.
behind me, a little bit of them with me, that they carry. They can't get past the relationship not working to be there for the children.
To be there for the child. And that's
right.
And I don't mind talking about it. I've experienced it myself.
It's simple.
Me too.
And it's to a point now where I no longer have to have a conversation because she's old enough to have her own conversations.
Yes.
So I leave myself out of it. But I've always left the door open. A lot of women close the door.
Right.
That's
because they're angry as well.
Exactly.
Again, dealing with emotional separation issues because of the lack of community and family in the household.
Instead of putting the best interest of the
The
child.
child.
If you always go
and
the
then
mindset
you raise
of
children that missing out on fathers, and then you have daddy issues.
Yes.
And men have daddy issues too. It's not just the women.
It's not just the women.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's
Or
children.
mommy issues.
Right. Mommy issues, daddy. Some of them are angry with the mom.
With their mom.
And then they grow up and they're hostile to women. And they don't, in our community, we don't address it. We don't want to get the mental health that we need. That is another relationship.
That's another relationship.
Yes. That's another show.
Yes.
We will be back for that episode.
And these, what they missing, they think it's out in, I guess, in social media, out in the streets, but they fail to realize all you have to do is go to the person.
That's it.
And I'll just say for me, I've been single for a long time. And we don't even talk about how many years I've been single. And it's not without attempting to date.
Yes.
And I've met some wonderful people, just not wonderful for me.
Right.
And what I know I need in my life. It's not even about what I'm looking for. It's what I know I need.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what I was looking for wasn't it. So then you have to change your mindset on, okay, what do I need in my life? What would help me be a better me?
Yes.
And if you can't come into my life and be a partner,
right?
If you can't come into my life and already you kind of already have your, because none of us are together. There's always improvement, right?
Always.
But if you can at least be already there and come in and meet me, and then you encourage me, and you do all those things that men, I like to say, ego boosting.
Yes.
I shouldn't have to boost your ego as a man for you to be a man in my life. I'm not doing that. No. Because you're not walking around boosting my ego going, you're such a wonderful mom, and you're such a wonderful lady, and you're such a this for me to cook you dinner. For me,
this
so
is natural for me, right? These are natural things.
At the end of the day, I needed to already be who you are. That's it.
Listen.
Period. It's not about, I'm going to go out here and look and try to make this person or put this person together to be what I want him to be.
Not at
I
this
need you to
age.
already be who you are, because
we
if
can't
you're
build
already,
a bear.
That's right.
At this age, I'm not building
And
any
we're not
men.
building on men.
No, or women.
It doesn't work.
A man shouldn't have to come in and build a woman.
Exactly.
A woman should be everything that you need, and vice versa. Even, like I said, with us, we shouldn't be building men. And in situations of the same sex, you shouldn't have to come in and teach a human being how to be a human being.
Period.
Amen.
Period.
Let's take it down to the ground part of it. It's certain things that a person should know. You should know how to cook and clean. You should, as an adult, I hope you have paid some bills.
Look,
These are basic templates.
As a man, though, I mean, I'm gonna say on average, 80% of men, they want to be able to go out there, work hard, come home. If the wife worked, we can cook together.
I like that.
Yes.
Let's do this together. Or we can, I got little ones.
Yeah.
I cook.
She handles the little.
You handle the little ones.
Yeah.
And it is so pleasing when you're working together.
Let me just say, I love you guys as a couple. You two, they are adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And their strengths shine together.
Correct.
They've grown. I met your wife before you guys got married. Yes. Another relationship again.
Exactly.
And even though that relationship went in another direction, our connection grew.
Yes.
And watching everything previously before you arrived, she was already a great person.
Yes.
But you enhanced that greatness that was already in her. And that's, to me, that's what a relationship is about.
See, that's what...
You didn't change her.
I didn't change her.
You enhanced her.
Look, my job is to... Okay, we are being looked at by our kids.
Mm-hmm.
So if I talk down on her or not help her lift her, my girls are looking at me.
And they're going to think that's okay when they start dating.
No.
Correct.
So I know and we always talk about this, I know if I lift her up, with me being retired, eventually I ain't gonna have to I ain't gonna have to work. I can sit at home and just enjoy life. But we're not at that point yet. So I'm still out here doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm pushing her up at the same time, because men need to learn. I mean, we was here with broad shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
We can carry that weight.
You're supposed to be.
And we're supposed to.
Be able to.
You're made to carry the weight.
Some men make excuses. No.
Because, and I'm so tired of this saying, what do you bring to the table?
Or I need to know if I need to see if you're wifey material first. What?
I look at them like this. Like I said, my grandmother was 101.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She didn't bring nothing to the table.
Shouldn't have to.
She didn't have to. Because as a man, my grandfather knew it's my job to go out there
and get the table. And she'll set it.
There it is.
That's how it is.
That's how it's supposed to be.
A great preacher, I guess that's what you can call him, Dr. Miles Monroe, passed away, him and his wife, years ago, on a flight. He said, you give a woman a house, she'll make it a home. Yeah. We are multipliers. We multiply whatever you give us.
Exactly.
So we don't need to be asked, what do we bring to the table? Bring us the table and we'll set it.
Correct.
That's it.
It's ingrained in us. That's who we are. That's our makeup. So, like you said, stop asking.
And you should never have to ask, because at the end of the day, as a man, what
you're gonna see it.
Right. As a man, what are you showing? What are you bringing? What are you attracting?
Right.
Because if you have to lead with, I need to know if you're wifey material first, or what do you bring into the table, then you have failed somewhere in your manhood.
Yes, something wrong. That's a red flag.
That's a red flag, and you might need to go do some self-reflecting and do some self-improvement on your own. So that, because like I said, it needs to already. I met a guy, my age, around October-ish. I think we've only been to dinner one time,
Isn't that weird?
but he has shown up and shown out
Mm-hmm.
because that's already who he is.
Right.
Yes.
I didn't have to try to dry bag and be like, whew, this car's broke down and,
Right.
I need brakes and,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with the car. I hear a little noise and da-da-da.
It was just regular conversation.
No, he saw a need and he fulfilled it, period. And it was, and even with, I need to make sure you have some of the just basic stuff.
Right.
Yes.
You need anything? I just need a case of water. Okay, bring 4 cases of water and some juice and then some milk. And
Listen.
you see what I'm saying? But that's already who he is. I don't have to make him
right. You don't
or
have to make
mold him.
pull it
so
out.
that's what I meant when I said, like, what am I looking for? I need you to already be who you are.
That's
The
it.
thing about it, when you got to tell a man what to do,
he's not ready. Man, he's not ready.
That's
not
it.
ready.
He's not ready.
And I always say, like, as far as dating,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you find out about I'm gonna say about a person that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it takes time.
And it takes time. And
we were talking about before we started
what?
that
Yes.
nobody's dating right now.
They're not dating.
They slide
back in the day. It was courting.
That's right.
Because
Nobody's
the intention
courting.
was marriage.
Right. Nobody's courting. Nobody's dating. They sliding in your DMs and then sliding in you, and then that's it. And if it works out, then y'all hook up.
Yeah.
And you might make it official. You might start sharing, pictures and everything on social media, but you're never really dating. Dating is something that is non-existent, but that's something that for me at 42 going on 43, I'm still looking for that date, that moment. And the last real relationship that I had that ended almost 3 years ago, he dated me. He came from a whole nother state, brought me gifts to my door, took me out.
Yes.
Didn't try to sleep with me, didn't try to stay in my home, would frequently come back and forth, stay in a hotel. And then after dating me for months, he said, I want to make this official. I want it to just be us. That was dating. And that was the last of it. It's almost non-existent at this point.
Absolutely.
I mean, yes, like with me and my wife, I think dating builds a friendship.
Yes.
Yes.
And we made this vow to each other when we met. We was going through almost the same situation. We said, let's be friends first.
Mm-hmm.
Being friends.
And with being friends, yes, y'all go out on dates. She tried to pay, but as a man,
you wouldn't allow it. I got it.
And so I had to struggle with her.
I bet.
To open her door.
Yeah.
When we in separate cars.
Yeah.
And I walk her to her car and open her door. She was like, no, let me open my door. Look, I said, it ain't, I'm trying to rush things. That's just who I am.
That's who I am.
In her defense, our age group is so used to everything comes with something.
Exactly.
Yes. I don't need you to open my door because I don't want you to open any of my other doors later.
Right. That's right.
Exactly. And I don't agree with you got these.
Give me something for something.
These young
we
men
got Quid pro quo out here.
If I take you out to dinner, what am I getting?
They all want something in return.
And then there's an expectation.
Yes. We grown.
They losing the core value of courting a lady and bringing her in.
See, even in the last situationship, whatever it was that I dealt with, we were friends.
That's it.
For years.
Yes.
Years upon years. And I thought that was going to be the best situation because we had a friendship. But for him, he was scared that he would damage the friendship if it didn't work. So it was like, I care about you and I want the best for you, but I don't want to mess our friendship up. And I'm like,
why does it have to? Why does it have to mess your friendship up?
Right.
Exactly. If anything, it's supposed to.
I will admit, when it didn't work, I decided to take a moment, and this is my first time admitting to it because I was hurt.
Yes.
It hurt me that even in the friendship, you couldn't be open in you, you know,
Exactly.
and just be that friend that I needed you to be. And
Yeah.
it's like, dang, you want to date your friends, but
Yes, and see, I think men they get complacent
yeah.
when this goes with dating and marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That once I done caught this fish,
What do I need to do?
what else do I need to do? But I'm a firm believer. If you out camping and you got a fire burning,
How do you
how do you keep that fire burning?
Mm-hmm.
The same way you did dating this woman.
Right.
Whether you have kids, but y'all got a family now, whatever. If you got family around, your mom, grandmothers, aunts, hey, that's why I love my wife to death.
Mm.
Because me and my wife have did so much in the last 8 years that I'm like,
in 8 years?
I'm gonna say, 2017.
Gosh.
It was
Wow.
dating the friendship.
Oh, I remember when you came on the scene. Oh, I remember.
So, yes, and I'm like, these men get complacent and they stop
They stop
taking
doing
their
the things.
women.
On dates.
They stop taking them on
Taking time
dates.
with them, vacation.
And what?
Yeah.
Vacation.
Because they're such in the
That-
routine of what life looks like, you get
What
stuck
they
in
think
it.
life look
Right.
like.
You get stuck in the rat race.
Yes. And I always say, I'm building for the future.
The future.
I'm building for the future.
Better live for now.
And
The
I
way this
always
economy
tell
going.
people, I said, look, you can go out here, you can build for the future. I ain't got no problem with that.
Right.
But if something happened to you, and I had one of my postal friends, he worked till he was about 61 years old. Could have retired at 56. The man, I know he had built the nest egg because he was single.
And all that goes right back.
And guess what? He had a massive heart attack mowing his yard. He did not get to enjoy retirement. Nobody to spend that nest egg that he had built up. So I'm like, I tell my kids, look,
If you're in retirement age, go and enjoy your life.
Enjoy your life. I said,
For
because
real.
tomorrow, with today's society, tomorrow's not promised.
No, it's not.
I said, because I mean, these young men out here, they need to learn. I think they need to learn how to date a woman.
And they don't even know where to begin.
They don't know
where to begin.
But they don't know where to begin, but then also they're coming from, let me say this as nicely as I can. They're coming from structures where the women are so hard. They've never seen one. It's almost non-existent
That's
to
true.
see
That could be too.
what
Yeah.
a woman consists of.
And then you got some of these women out here, they settling for men. That's actually
another child.
Is that bad eye for their child that they bringing up?
Toxic,
He's so toxic.
So
that
then they grow up and they're
like, if he did this to my mom, is it?
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. And then when that young man run into a young lady that got a structured home,
Mm-hmm.
then
tearing her down.
He tearing her down. But if it's a real man structuring that girl, he can look at that young man and say, look, okay, you done had it rough. I'm gonna come in and teach you how to straighten this up.
Are you willing?
Well, exactly. Are you willing?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to date my daughter, are you willing to fix your imperfections to be better,
what she really needs? Exactly.
To be what she needs and make yourself a better man.
Yeah.
Girl, we went out to dinner. We went out to dinner I'm gonna say a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting around looking at the restaurant. And I told my wife, I said,
a lot of lonely people.
I said, I don't know if it's me, but when I was growing up, we had nice fade haircuts. If you had an afro, it was nice and
It was put
groomed.
together.
You,
It was put
Chrissy, you're
together.
talking about grooming,
Yeah,
basically.
grooming.
Yes.
I said,
No.
I think everybody in
Everybody
that
rolled out of
restaurant
bed.
that was under 30 looked like they just ran their hand through their hair and they
Got
got
right
dressed
up.
and left.
And didn't
okay
even
with it, but
didn't
it's
even
like you
take
said,
no
it's the
care
grooming
to their
agenda.
outfit. Just
Right.
put something on.
Threw it on.
Exactly.
No, you know,
No
I
iron.
get on my right. I get on my kid about it all the time. How you leave this home, the world is going to view you that way.
Exactly.
You look like you just rolled out of bed, they're going to treat you like you just rolled out of bed.
Exactly.
Take pride in the way that your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you feel great inside, let it show outside. It's not being conceited or stuck up. It's showing your inner beauty, letting it out.
Yes.
But a lot of them are still struggling for their own identities, you know?
Then, I mean, dating wise, oh, my girls, oh, this is a battle that, you know, I'm gonna say teenage girls, they all want to dress where the belly's out. I'm like, look. And so I told my daughters, I said, look, I want y'all to always remember this. To a man, this also for ladies.
Mm-hmm.
To a man, if you walking around outside and I can see your goodies by you walking the streets, what do I have that a man haven't seen behind closed doors?
Well,
And just to I can't stand it. It's heartbreaking to go to a store and go, and I have 3 girls and a boy, to go to a store. Thank goodness they grown. But to go to a store and you're looking for appropriate clothing for your teenage girl, and everything is
it's hard to
propped.
find.
Everything is propped. Everything
because
is super
society
tight.
plays
Everything is
such a
super
part.
right. And it's like, you not wearing that? No, man. Where you go?
What? If you ain't going to the beach, you ain't wearing
There you go.
Mom, it's just like wearing a bathing, but you're not wearing a bathing suit.
Right.
And when you wear a bathing suit, you're going to have a cover up on.
Right.
So you're not going to just be out here, with
Right.
everything.
Just showing all of it.
Like there's such a thing
Respect.
as modesty.
Right.
The modesty is not being taught.
love
Even
the
in
word
our young
modesty.
girls,
Yes.
it's not being taught. It's not being taught in our young men. How many times have we
this
seen
again? This is a part of relationship
building? Exactly.
Our community no longer steps in and corrects.
We can't.
Because
there's
we
not a
can't.
village. Correct.
We can't.
We can't.
because-
We might get unalive. You know, I have to use the right word because this will be on social media. So unalived if we step in and correct the wrongs within our community.
Mhm.
And community builds relationships. So we're lacking. You know, I can't tell my neighbor stop running across my grass, although I wish they would.
Oh, I can do that.
Because I don't know. I don't know what
You don't know
what's coming.
the reaction.
I don't
the
know.
response. How they're gonna come?
You just don't know. Whereas when we were growing up, it was. I'm gonna tell your mama, come here.
Yes.
Why are you doing that? What and we were respected. Now is tell my mama that one of the kids in my neighborhood said, so.
And all you
so
can
you have you on my camera.
Look, mouth just dropped open because it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. She was a pint, little pint.
Look, I had somebody pretty much corrected me because growing up, whether I was talking to my grandmother, my grandfather, my uncles, my aunts, a teacher, an adult, period. It was yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
Right. So
nowadays, they said that.
Nowadays,
kids
bruh.
They say what?
Bruh is bruh, and I hate bruh.
You ask my kids what my kids would tell you to this day. If I ask them a question and they said what, I look around my whole house. Who the hell are you talking
to? What?
That's right.
I said no. I said if you learn it at a young age,
then it'll go with your life.
And I done had people. I done had people that I done did work for that's younger than me. And I say, yes, sir. No problem. And they said, you don't have to call me, sir. That's all I needed. But out of respect for you, I'm gonna do that. And then when you say
we develop that relationship where you're comfortable and whatever you want me to call you.
And that right there, when you do that, open the door for a lady. That shows a lot of character.
Yeah.
Of what
that's what's missing.
Even if you're not not taught it at home, you seeing it somewhere.
Yeah.
And it registered in you.
Yeah. Yeah. My ex got me with the showing up with gifts on our first date. When he came to town, and it wasn't just flowers, it was expensive perfume. And I had never had anybody give me perfumes before, of that level. What I'm supposed to do with this? I got my own perfume. And
add it right to the collection.
And that's exactly what I did. And he came, even though he wasn't the guy that I was used to. My uncles were very handy. He's not that guy. He's not a handy guy, but he's the man that's going to get it done.
Yes.
See, and that's the thing.
So that to me is still a man.
Same thing.
Correct.
Oh, your car's not working?
Let me
put it in the shop
and see what's wrong with it.
He went even further than that. Go get another car. I'm done fixing this.
Fighting it, exactly.
Get another car. Oh, I don't like this door on the house. It's not secure enough. I'm not here. Put another door on here.
Right.
That's it.
I can't do it physically, but I'm gonna have it done.
I can have it done.
But so that's a man.
That's still a man.
Yeah,
doing his job.
He's solving.
Yes, solving the problem.
Problem.
So that brings me to another question with you guys. So how do we solve our community problem where we're not connecting? Where is the connection?
We just have to connect where we can. I mean, and what I mean by that is our friends that have kids, for example.
Yes.
Because of course, as you already pointed out, we can't just go to the neighbor kid.
No.
To a block over kid and, hey, let me talk to you for a minute, young man or young lady. We can't do that anymore because we just may be unalive.
Right.
Just saying hello.
Right.
So we have to reach the ones around us.
Mm-hmm.
And then what'll happen, and I've seen it, I didn't think my daughter was listening, my youngest.
That's it.
But when I hear her on the phone talking to her friends,
right, it's sunk in. She heard,
even though she's with mom and with the older siblings, she's pushing back and why does it have to be this way and blah, and why are you telling me, and all of that, but it sunk in.
Mm-hmm.
She heard and it resonated. So that's the only thing that we can do in our circles of relationships.
Yeah,
the connections that we've built. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's got the three younger daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be there. I mean, they're great examples, of course, you and your wife, but when you're around them, you're carrying yourself with high character and a high moral standard. So they're seeing that emulated in you, just like they see it emulated in their parents and those that are around them. We have to show them, because when we think they're not listening, they are. When we think they're not paying attention, they are.
Listen, baby, back in our days. Now they do it like they part of the conversation.
Right.
But when we was kids,
we already knew exit stage left 3 times.
Children don't need to be a part of this conversation.
Anybody talking to you?
That's right.
You need, go outside, go some. Now,
listen,
they sit and,
I had a nickname growing up.
Jump in your conversation. I'm like, wait a minute.
I had a nickname growing up, and the nickname is coming full circle now. So as a kid, they used to say, now I grew up in the inner city of Baltimore, so there's this news station there called Channel 13. So they would say, Channel 13 in here, so be careful, because she tells it all. So now here we are for a circle. I tell it all.
Yes.
But they would say before they even, and I would key in on it. Channel 13,
because you didn't.
I didn't know. I was Channel 13 because I would report everything that was going on in the family. Right. All I needed to do was hear it,
and you was telling.
Right. So, kid, get out, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, I think parents sometimes are off. They
want to be friends more than parents.
They want to be friends more than parents.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a parent first.
You have to be the parent.
And I told my kids that. Yeah. I said, look.
Now I'm your best friend.
I'm your best friend. but I'm your
I'm your
dad
parent.
first.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but when the parents, I think when you get around family
Mm-hmm.
and your kid, you know that one or two people they bad in the family.
Right. Right.
And that seemed like that's the one your kid
But see, that's where it
draw
starts
to.
first. Is
And
the
that's
family.
when you got to break it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yes.
I said, you can be friends with him.
Right.
But his ways, you bring it in my house and
It ain't gonna
we're
work.
going to have a problem.
We're going to have a
I
problem.
remember, really quick, we're gonna be finishing up for today. But I remember one of my cousins. She was dating this guy, and he came in the house, didn't speak
What?
to
Talk to
anybody, and I said, "Is he gonna speak?" And his reaction was to her. Well, who's she talking to? And I said,
Right
I'm
there.
talking to you.
It's time
You
for you to
gotta
get
go.
up out
walked
of
You gotta
into
go.
this house and didn't speak to anybody. I don't care who you dating.
Exactly.
You walked in, you speak.
You speak. That's right.
Yeah.
And she said, "Listen, my cousin Chrissy don't play." So,
And see, and that's the
and
thing.
she knew who I am.
Right.
Exactly.
Regardless of that's how he did.
And she should have prefaced that to him before he even got in that door. Listen,
Yeah.
when you walk in his house, you need to speak. But
Right.
first of all, she shouldn't have had to.
Right.
In the first place.
Exactly.
But clearly he's lacking some training.
Right.
And
Not being a great young man. But the beginning of our meeting
was
It's not there. And that could come from home training.
Right.
Lack thereof.
Or thinking you
better
than everybody else.
Not even that. They're so oblivious to everything else around them that doesn't include them in the moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like,
or in his mind, he's with her. Whoever else is
don't
even matter.
Don't matter.
And that's just their mindset,
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, we were talking about community. When my kid comes into a space, make sure you speak to everybody.
Yeah,
What?
absolutely.
When you walk in the door. Yes,
You
ma'am.
better. Hey, how y'all doing?
That's right.
That
Now go find some place.
Now go find some.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But now you do that now. I mean, they look at you like
they'll fight you back. Like, who are you talking to?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, tell them I said, look.
Now I said something to some little kids the other day driving. I was leaving, and some little kids actually playing outside.
No,
brought joy to my heart. I said, yes, honey. They play it outside with sticks and stuff. I said, come on, kids. I was all happy looping around the corner, but I heard something hit my car. I said, hey, don't do that no more.
Right.
Period.
I said, I don't know who threw it, but do not throw nothing in nobody's car. You could have caused yourself to get hurt, hurt somebody else, or better yet, you could have ended up with someone that didn't care about the fact that you were kids.
Exactly.
And hurt you. Because ain't no parent out here where it was about 5 of them.
Exactly.
And the one little kid said, Isaac, why would you do that? See, he just told him.
Right. Snitched.
But as I started to keep going, and I said, no, they threw something at my car. I'm turning around. And if the parents want to come outside, well, then we're going to go ahead and deal with it accordingly. But yeah.
I ain't trying to, I always said this. People think when you correcting a child, if it ain't them, you're wrong. No. That's what's wrong with society.
That's what's wrong.
Lack of correction.
Lack of correction. They don't think that as a man, okay, he ain't got no man figure in his life. So if it's another man, look, young man, don't do it this way. Do it this way. Don't tell my son what to do. What?
Yeah.
Well, you ain't telling him.
You ain't telling what to do. Somebody should.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I really have enjoyed our conversation today.
Man, this
is right.
Yeah.
I hope y'all enjoyed it too.
Absolutely.
And I want you to give some final thoughts before we dive into just one last thing that we're going to do.
I mean, my final thought is don't let society raise your kids.
Okay.
And these men need to step up to the plate and be men. Whether you're with the mother of your child or you're not, step up to the plate, be men. And the last one, men, if you married or you got a significant other you've been with 2 to 3 years, continue to date that woman, continue to take her out, take her on vacations, keep that fire burning, and you will be happier in your life if you
Yep,
just
you're
show
right.
her a little bit that of appreciation.
That's right. That's right.
I'm
I
gonna
like
just end with men, women. You know, if you consider yourself a man, consider yourself a woman, whatever you. If you're an adult, period,
Mm-hmm.
know yourself.
That's important.
Know yourself. Deal with what you have to deal with when it comes to past hurts, traumas, whatever the case may be. Do you unapologetically.
Mm-hmm.
The only person you can always 100% be totally
It's
honest and authentic with is yourself. When you look in the mirror, you have to ask yourself, do I really like who I am? Because there's always aspects of ourselves we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Then what are you going to do about it before you bring that toxicity into someone else and another connection?
I like that.
That's my
I like that. I like that.
One thing I forgot to tell you, I always said about myself from a young kid up.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I said I lost my mom early.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I did in life, I asked myself, would she be happy?
That's right. That's a good one there.
That's yeah. That,
So if you done lost a loved one, ask yourself, would they be happy with the path you're on today?
that part that now see that gives me chills.
Yeah.
That
That's
right
a,
there.
that's a
That's
good
a
that's a
one.
good one.
That is a good one. For me, my final thought would be, have you explored all different types of relationships in your life? Have you made an understanding of what they are and how they connect? Instead of continually getting into what you think is a relationship, have you fixed the other relationships? Work on those other relationships before you focus on just the one. I know a lot of times we all just want to be with someone that cares for us, but we can't have someone that cares for us until we care for ourselves.
Yes.
So work on those other 12, caring for yourself to find that one. So we're going to do one last fun thing that's going to take us off topic. And these are my conversation cards, okay? So I asked everybody to just pick a card,
Oh boy.
okay? Get your one.
Got my one.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Right.
Okay. And got my one. I'm going to start first. And the question that I'll ask you is, what is your favorite way to spend a weekend?
Okay. I'm a family oriented guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love spending time with my wife and the girls because with work during the week it's hard getting family time.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can say, if you give me my football on Sunday
That's what you like.
and some beer, I'm okay.
Got it.
But family first.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Steph?
For me, it's of course anytime I can and get with my family and my extended family is a win.
Gotcha.
On those days when that's not happening, in my pajamas with a bottle of wine, binge watching some movies or learning something new about, whatever I'm working on, like doing some additional like studying or research.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. For me, it is doing exactly what you see me doing right now, as well as being with family and friends. And I love going around the city and finding new and exciting restaurants. I'm a foodie.
Oh,
Everybody knows I'm a foodie. And I live for the aesthetics of it all. So that's what I like to do on the weekends. So what you got?
Okay. What is one thing you are most looking forward to in the next decade?
Still being here.
I know that's right.
And having my money put back in my 401k. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Walking away from corporate America.
I like that.
And some flexibility and giving myself flexibility and freedom back in my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, mine is getting into my investment properties so I can continue to build this generational wealth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My kids, my grandkids to carry on.
Carry on. Okay.
Last one. What is the thing you are most grateful for in your relationships?
That's a good one. That puts us right back on topic.
We're finishing on topic.
The one thing I'm most grateful for in my relationships is that I've been able to maintain them. And that the circle that I have created, that I'm in, is a circle of people that are constantly moving forward. I had to find the right fit. Oftentimes we get a group of people that it's a lot of push and pull. With where I'm at in the relationships that I'm in now, they're all pushing and pulling, pulling you and pushing you at the same time in a different way.
Yeah.
So that to me is where I'm at.
Where I'm at is with my marriage. I'm so just grateful for my wife.
Mm-hmm.
We are friends. We talk. We travel. We enjoy each other. And it's like something I thought I was something I was missing.
Mm-hmm.
She brought it to me.
Oh, that's
So
cute.
that right there is, I can't get enough.
There you go. I get it.
For me, it's the connections. And again, I'm a ditto what Chrissy said as far as finding the fit, because I've had relationships that I thought were going to be lifelong, and they're no longer around. They fired themselves out of my life. And I had to learn to going back and getting them and bringing them back through the door.
Yes.
And once I did that, I was able to see the authenticity and the friendships and the relationships that were in front of me, and that they were them true authentics. They've never changed on me in all the years I've known these people. And so it's allowed me to come out of my shell and let the wall down a little bit. It's still there, but it's down further than it ever was with the relationship. And they embrace me and encourage me and push me, and iron sharpens iron. And it's, hey, you said you're going to start this, you starting it. Okay, I'm gonna be your accountability partner. And it's not in a judgmental way. I can come around and not feel like I have to hide myself and be a part of the wall instead of being inclusive in what's going on. So for me, that's it. That's I'm just grateful for who God has put in my circle, and he's allowed me to know them, and for them to know me. So I'm grateful for that.
I go back to this saying that I heard multiple older gentlemen say.
Mm-hmm.
They said,
good. Okay.
If you are the highest person in your group, it's time to get another group. Because if you're already at your peak with this group,
then
you can't go
no
farther.
Right.
You need to get
You
somebody
always
higher than you to keep going up.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to change friendships.
Exactly.
It's okay to outgrow each other, because I think everybody knows my saying, keep moving forward.
Exactly.
I can't look back, because when you look back, you get off focus. So the only thing I can do is move forward. That's right. So, I've enjoyed our conversation today, and I hope that you have as well, and that you like what you heard and watched, and that you'll continue to join our conversations, because we have a long season and a lot of things coming your way that's going to be really, really, really fun. And we really, really appreciate the time and effort of the studio that we're in today. This is just one of the sets of many that will be on this season. I want everyone to continue to follow the Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast on Spotify. You can find me on Spotify. Look it up, Wine, Wealth, and Tea. I have been doing this now for 5 years, and now I think I got it. But I need you to follow. I need you to share. It will also be on YouTube. And you can also find me on Instagram under the official Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this conversation, and I thank our guests for coming. Thank you, Leroy.
Yes.
Thank you, Starlett. And enjoy. I hope you enjoy, and we'll talk again soon for the next conversation. Bye. Today's episode is sponsored by Polari Life. Polari Life, where you can find luxury wines at affordable price. That's PolariLife.com.